Hi, I'm Shimelle Laine, and I have a new layout to share with you today. I'm starting with a mix of supplies from my own collection with American Crafts and some from Notes and Things, which is a new release from Crepe Paper. I'm using this craft triangle print from Crepe Paper as my background, and then I'm going to cut a few different pattern papers to frame these two 4x6 photos. And I'm using a 4x4 card there, the turquoise Go Somewhere Lovely. That comes on a 12x12 sheet that has all different 4x4 squares. And the little globe there is from the steel dies in my collection, and I've just cut it from craft cardstock. So I'm starting with a block there of the turquoise and aqua map print, and then also using a white with pink mini polka dot pattern here. And these two are going to be the mat for my two photos. And I've got an offcut there that you can see that's cream with a turquoise strip down the side. That's just the B side of one of the two pattern papers there. Adding brown ink to the edges of everything on this layout pretty much, so that everything will kind of coordinate and tone in with the craft in the background, but also the tones of the beach. So the photos are at the seaside, even though it's not a very blue day, it's a bit gray, but I wanted to use kind of more traditional seaside colors of turquoise and that sandy craft color. Okay, so now starting to put my background together. So I have that larger photo mat and then a slightly smaller one that I'm going to offset and create this stack of papers with my photos on top. And that's going to create a focus in the center of my layout, and everything else I can build from there. So I have that strip with the turquoise, and I can just find a spot where it's going to fit over the side and pull up the back layers and layer that down. And then again with the 4x4 box. Now 4x4 is a bit big for what I already had on the page, so I just trimmed a little bit off the bottom, tuck it up there at the top, and I still have everything there. Now I want to use that globe over at the side, but what I was finding at about this point is that all the colors were getting a bit too similar. I needed something that would have some contrast. So I pulled out a hot pink wood grain 3x4 card from the Project Life kit that coordinates with my collection. It's called the Lovely Edition, and it's one of those mini kit sizes that has about 100 cards, I think. And I'm going to use that to perfectly frame my little globe die cut. Now, those of you who do mostly pocket scrapbooking, that will also let you know that if you would like, that globe will fit perfectly in a 3x4 pocket. So if you tend to do 3x4 pockets on a travel theme, then that die set might be a really good investment for you. Okay, so now layering on some embellishments. I've got this cork piece that has the Be Passionately Curious quote on top, and that fits perfectly across the globe. A lot of the different things in my collection are all made that way on purpose, so that each piece will be just slightly bigger than the thing you want to layer it on. So I hope that comes in useful as you're using it. And then I'm going to add a little suitcase on the diagonal. So you can see already I have two embellishment areas so far, and that they're on the diagonal framing the photos. So that's going to keep the focus on my pictures, even though I'm going to add plenty of extra stuff because that's what I like on my pages. The polka dot paper that I used already has this camera print in shades of pink on the other side, and I'm just cut a strip of those cameras that I'm going to pop down there at the bottom. I like the boldness of this camera because you can cover up quite a bit of the design and you can still tell that it's a camera. So it works really well for layering that way. And I've got that little gap there now in the bottom right hand corner, so I'm going to find some different pieces to put in that space. These are the word strip stickers, and they come with a second sheet that's a gray tile alphabet as well. And this little banner with the heart cut out of it is also included in the same set of dies with the globe, and I'm just using the Absolutely stamp from the stamp set, which fits perfectly to the right of the little heart, and then I can cover up that little gap. And I've cut it again from a pink paper, and I'm just using the heart there to fill in, and then I don't have all those lines from the layers that are underneath showing through the heart. The heart is nice and clear that way. I just had a little trouble getting my adhesive in the place where I wanted it, but then sorted that out. And now I'm going to work on the title, and I'm using the round gold alphabet, these are thickers, and then also the foam glitter thickers to spell out the title at the top left of the photos. Just spelling everything backwards so that I get the spacing right, so that that last letter focuses on the spot where the layers come together, so that spot at the edge of the turquoise block. And then my larger gold letter stickers below that in the empty space of the photo. And if adding the stickers on top of the photo is something that's really not to your liking, of course the whole title could just go up a bit, or I could do the wording the other way around so that the larger glitter letters were above the round gold foil letters. When I come back down to that bottom corner, I think that needs a little bit more than just that banner, because the other two have quite big embellishments with big word pieces. So I'm going to stack up a few of these little word strip stickers, really easy embellishment to use. Adding brown ink to the edges of everything, but that's just because once I start with brown ink or any ink around the edges, I feel like everything needs to have that. And I hesitated there for a second because I wondered about duplicating the word lovely. It's up there at the top, it's up there at the bottom. And I just decided that actually that's quite true to the way I speak. The reason that the word lovely appears so many times in this collection is because I say it far, far too many times. And rather than worry about it, I'm just going to embrace it and go ahead and include it twice. I finished up that grouping with a cork heart, so now there are 3 of the cork pieces on the page that form that triangle. And then the little asterisk at the top is from the thicker sheet. It's just at the end with all the punctuation. Then my journaling is going to go in that big space above the title, but I just wanted to add a few little details that frame the photo, so here on the side and then down at the bottom left. And I'm going to layer up a few different colors of ink. So I started with my turquoise pen on the turquoise paper, and then added in some other shades as well. So this is adding in the gray, and I've also got a brown pen that I'm going to use for the journaling too, and for the pink pen to do some bits down at the bottom. So my pen set that is part of the collection has 3 pens, a gray, a turquoise, and a pink, and they're all precision pens. There's been a little bit of confusion because the white barrel on the pen has made some people think that they're slick writers, but they're not. They are the 3 size in the precision pen, which is my favorite journaling pen. And then the brown one isn't in my collection. It's just a standard brown American Crafts precision pen. I tend to keep the black and the brown on my desk all the time, but the gray is my new favorite. Now for the longer journaling, it's going to go in that empty space up there above the title. With that finished, I just want to add a little bit more embellishment. I thought I might play with some texture a little bit. So I used that same craft cardstock that I die cut the pieces from and ran it through the wood grain embossing folder, and then used a heart punch to punch those into shape, and then add a little bit of brown ink for shading around the edge, and then just had a little bit of an experiment with where they could go. I really liked the pieces, but then found it harder to put them onto the page in the design than I expected, so just moved them around a little bit and didn't end up using them as much as I thought. I ended up thinking that they were a bit big to be scattered and a bit small to stand on their own. So you see me just kind of move them around and then abandon that plan. And I ended up using just one there down at the bottom because I thought then it was quite balanced with the cork heart at the bottom. So just made a nice little stack of embellishments there. Then I'm bringing in some blue sequins. These are from a Studio Calico Basics kit where it has sequins that come in different color sets, so you get 2 shades, like a yellow and an orange, or a blue and an aqua. So I just wanted to add a little bit more of the blue shade, so that the pink on this layout didn't become too overwhelming. I like using pink accents even though they're boy pages because I'm on them too, so it doesn't bother me. But I didn't want it to be too girly, so I thought I would balance that out with a bit of blue. I realize that's a ridiculous statement because I've just said that I'm using blue sequins to make it more boy and less girly. Yeah, so that's completely ridiculous, but at the time it made perfect sense in my head, so I'm just going to go with it. Little triangles of sequins around the 3 different embellishment areas on the page. I'm just looking for little lines or edges to overlap so that they're not in kind of empty open space, that they have something to ground them. And that's where I'm going to leave it today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you come back soon. I'd love for you to subscribe or to check out my blog at shimelle.com. Thanks so much.